Okay, time for a draft. I've been doing fairly well in the standard queues, so I have a stockpile of packs and feel that this is okay to do every once in a while, so I decided to record it. And we opened Phyrexian Crusader, which is a really good Infect card. And there's one bit of removal in the pack, which is Burn the Impure. And then Plague Mirror is also pretty good. And this pack is decent all the way around, with cards like Flare Husk, Nullpest, Piston Sledge, Tanglemanders. But I think I am just going to take the Crusader and try and draft around that, some kind of Infect deck. I like the slower kind of Infect deck but more than the quick aggro one. And while I think this is really good in the Infect deck, because a lot of your guys have very little toughness, and so this is able to boost it, I think this is even better. It's cheaper and it has the same body, but it also comes with Infect. And the downside is you can't re-equip it, but it's still a very decent Infect creature. And so I'm going to take that. There's also a Fangren Marauder in the pack, which isn't too big a deal for us, but will be for non-Infect decks. So we'll be passing that, and we'll be passing Divine Offering. Another Marauder. This looks like the same pack as last one. I think it is. Most of the same print run. Because there's a Blight Widow, Fangren Marauder, Marasire, a Tine Strike, a Divine Offering. But we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take a second Blight Widow. Be pretty happy with it. So now we are looking at there's either Scourge Servant or Virulent Wound. I like to have a lot of Virulent Wounds just because there's still 2 packs of Scars, and Scars guys tend to have very little toughness. In fact, most of the early plays have 1 toughness, so Virulent Wound works out really well against them, as does Blister Stick Shaman. But the Infect guys are obviously more important to the plan, and so I do hope we get to pick one of these up, but I'm going to be taking the Scourge Servant. And now, looks like the only card we could use is the Copper Carapace, which is certainly more an aggro style card than a grinding out style card, because you can't block. But it's still a pretty good card in the Infect deck. It effectively gives +4/+2, and especially on the Phyrexian Crusader, that can be a bit of a beating. And we're missing an Unnatural Predation to get there, but I think that's okay. Other cards of note: Steel Sabotage is decent, as is Rusted Slasher, and the Quilled Sagworm in the Dinosaurs deck. Alright, take a look around. This guy is playable in, an artifact-based deck, but that's not what we've got going. I really, really don't like this guy. This guy, I think, is horrible. And I would take most things over him. But it might be the kind of thing I need to put in, like the 23rd card, because nothing else in this pack is worth cutting. I guess Steel Sabotage could be, but would be mostly better against other decks than against us. So, I mean, bouncing equipment halfway through combat is pretty good, but it's dead against most of the rest of our deck. And we're just going to take Unnatural Predation here. The little bit of a pump is relevant in a lot of situations, and the trample is very relevant. So we're going to take that. Phyresis is a bit of a subpar card, just because it's an aura, which is built-in card disadvantage, but it does have the 2 uses like Tainted Strike does. You can either get in with your non-infect guys, or you can stop their guys from attacking for a short while. You obviously can't put it on a bomb, so it's very similar to the other one, to Tainted Strike, because Tainted Strike you only get 1 of chance to fog, and Phyresis you can't fog the bomb. You can only fog the smaller cards. Here we're just going to take the Digester. It is a fine card, and it has 1 toughness, which is not a good thing to have in this format, but it is still an Infect creature, so we're going to take it. And getting past some decent stuff. This is our original pack, which was pretty stacked to begin with. Vivisection is a good card. Rusted Slasher is pretty good. I think we're going to cut the Slasher. I don't think we'll end up playing it, but we'll cut it for sure. We're definitely not playing Horrifying Revelation, so I think we're going to take the Time Strike. Well, Wide Infect certainly seems to be open. We're going to take this Time Strike. And we're going to cut Fuel for the Cause. I drafted a black-red Infect deck before. It was in Triple Besieged that used Rally the Forces. It actually got to the finals, and it was pretty decent, but I think I got lucky in a lot of games. It wasn't really the best deck I've ever drafted. I'm gonna just take that and that. Hiding this stuff. It's unlikely either of these colors are going to get cut for white, but it's certainly possible. Horde Smelter Dragon. That is one of the better 6-mana bombs, but it totally changes the kind of deck we're playing. We could take Perilous Mirror, which is decent in our deck, and the only thing is we're shipping a Horde Smelter Dragon. Just not something you ever want to do. I might be able to fit it in. I don't know. That seems pretty bad. Maybe we have to drop black at this point. Well, no. We're gonna stay on track. We're gonna take a Perilous Mirror, and we're gonna ship a present to the present door, right? Now we are looking at Strider Harness or Contagious Nim. Vector Asp is another one of those really bad subpar infect creatures. Contagious Nim is alright. And I don't like Grafted Exoskeleton in this deck. It doesn't do enough for its cost, and it's really better in the bad infect deck where you only have half infect creatures. So I'm just gonna take the Nim. Ooh, a True Conviction. Well, it's not gonna make our deck, but it'll sure make a very good white deck. And there's also a Mirrorsmith in the pack, as well as a Necropede, which I would be really happy to take here, but I'm going to take Plague Stinger over it, because Plague Stinger is one of the better infect creatures. So I'm going to take that. Keep going with this plan. A Dark Slick Shores, I have plenty of those, so I'm not going to rare draft over something like Ichaclaw Mirror, which is better than Trigon of Infestation. There's also a Dark Slick Drake in the pack, and some, you know, playable cards, but nothing amazing. Take the Mirror. Now, we've got a Contagious Nim. We could also be looking to play this white. What if we go black-white? We're missing out on Blight Widows. We're getting Time Strikes. This is a pretty big call, because we've been missing out on a Contagious Nim if we do this. Maybe we could splash the Blight Widows. Blight Widows for Time Strikes. Revoke Existence for Unnatural. Revoke is certainly better than Unnatural Predation. It's a pretty difficult call. I'm gonna take it. The fact that we got 2 Time Strikes, and Time Strikes are really, really good infect creatures. 2 power in the air is a big thing. Obviously not as good as the Imps, but they do a decent enough job. And we're just going to take Fume Spitter here, looking to draft white now instead of green. And Bladed Pinions is fine in an effect deck. Giving Evasion is decent, and giving First Strike is also pretty decent, so gonna take that. Nothing really here, so we'll just take the Withstand Death. We'll cut the Clone Shell. Not gonna play that. Not playing this either. Could take a Vector Asp, or a Soul Parry. I think both might be sideboard cards. I really don't like playing Vector Asp, but I think it's better than Soul Parry as a sideboard card. We'll take another Withstand F. It's the only playable card in this pack. We will take this one. It's the only card I've ever seen played out of those three. Swamp. And now we get a pack with, our rare is a Grind Clock, which is pretty bad, but we get a Plague Stinger, which is pretty good. The deck seems alright for Untamed Might if we're playing green, although playing green means we're not playing white, so it seems actually less good. With one flyer and not a lot of zerging capabilities, Untamed Might doesn't seem like the best, and it's definitely not better than Plague Stinger, which isn't a color we're definitely playing, so we'll take the Stinger. And we get a pretty bad pack for us. We could cut a Blast, or we could take a Replica. 21. I think it's unlikely Replica would even make it in our deck, although without I'm actually counting these green cards, so we're actually a little short on playables, so I will take the Replica. If we had more playables, I would cut the Blast, but I'm just going to take the Replica here. And now we can look at Flesh Allergy, which is a fine removal spell. It's certainly not top quality, because you have to sacrifice a creature, but it's still a removal spell nonetheless, so I'll take that. Interesting question. Instill Infection or Goldmere? Goldmere might make the colors a little better, and we might actually be able to splash the white or splash the green. Oh! I'm sorry. I didn't even see this. Somehow that just totally slipped my gaze, but I'm taking this for sure. Over either of those cards, it's just that much better than them. Just taking Corpse Cur and getting shipped another Corpse Cur, which is pretty good for us. So we will take another Corpse Cur, and now we've got a pretty grind-worthy deck. Able to cycle through Corpse Curs. It's a pretty good ability. And now we hit an Untamed Might. Well, there's nothing in this pack worth cutting, and nothing I would play, so I'm going to take it anyway. Maybe we could get a Horizon Spellbomb still. I don't know how many more new packs we get to see. I'm not sure what pick we're up to. Kapow. This pack is beautiful, and I wish we could take multiple cards. But we can't. So the question is, which is better? Corpse Cur is a very powerful card. Sisbear is has 3 toughness, which is huge. And 3 drop slots. Oh wait, we're not sure we're playing green. Makes a bit of a difference. I think I'm going to take the Corpse Cur because it's about the same power level. It does things the Sisbear can't, and the Sisbear does things it can't, but either way, we know we're playing it, so I'm going to take it. And not sure what to cut. I could take Wing Puncture. Or could cut Rebuttal. I think cutting Rebuttal is probably better. Nah, Wing Puncture. Even if we don't play green, we can side into green fine. They really want us to play green. Well, I think we need more. There's more of an incentive to play green now than white. So I still don't know if I'm going to play this, and if not, certainly it was better to get Contagious Nim. But now it's a question of Blight Mamba or Untamed Might. I think it's just Blight Mamba. We already have an Untamed Might. Right? Yeah. I looked for it in the 1-drops and didn't see it. I was like, didn't we pick it? It's up here. The most playable card is this one. This one. Still Infection. Sweet. Take it. Carrion Call. Take it. Psychic Miasma. Okay, what can we do here? What can we do about this? Okay, we're certainly playing black. So let's bring in this. Certainly playing all our good artifacts. So that. Maybe. That. And green at this point is definitely better than our white. So Blight Widow, Untamed Might, Blight Mamba, Carrion Call, and we need 2 more cards. We've got Unnatural Predation. We only have 1 decent sized fat infect creature, which makes Unnatural Predation less awesome, because it only pumps 1. It's still pretty good on Crusader. Now, we can put in Morok Replica, or we could put in Revoke and a Time Strike. It's probably safer than putting in Revoke and 2 Time Strikes, but maybe we could do that as well. Take out Bladed Pinions or Carrion Call. No, maybe Instill Infection. I'm not sure. Not missing anything here. If we're not playing white, then we're playing Morok Replica and Vector Asp, Unnatural Predation, or Withstand Death, which are pretty bad options. Or you can play Revoke and a Time Strike. But then look at our 4-drops. Pretty stacked. So maybe we go Revoke and Morok Replica, just leave out the Time Strikes. I'm okay with that. The Morok Replica can help us find our white. We only need 3 planes, really. Maybe 2. Oh, what do our other colors look like? We haven't actually got all that much green. 5 might be fine. So do I want to go down to 9 black? That also seems alright. I'll go 3, 9, 5. All of our green cards are one color. Okay, I like this. I mean, I'd certainly like the deck a bit better if I could make this Contagious Nim and take out the white. But the way it was looking, if we could have picked up some of the +1/+1 first strike cards and not as much green awesomeness, we might have just played white. But, and like some arrests as well, other removal. White has some pretty sick removal we could have fit in the deck, but we didn't get those, and instead we got some good green cards, so we'll just splash the Revoke, and we'll see how this deck does.